thanks for joining me. I'm Lori Farfaglia, host of the Arts and Entertainment Showcase here on Lakefront TV. I'm at the Melon Theater in Leesburg, where the cast and crew are hard at work on the best little whorehouse in Texas. Joining me now is John, Jolene, and Cliff. Tell me what is going on with the best little whorehouse in Texas.
The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas is a somewhat naughty musical, but it's a fun musical. It's fun, you'll laugh, you'll sing, you'll laugh, you'll have a good time, but then towards the end you'll cry, because it does get sad towards the end of the musical. It's sort of a sad show at times.
Now, doing community theater, was it kind of a risque thing to kind of pitch this particular show to the
This
board?
show is a little bit more risky, a little bit more naughty than we're used to. I've tried to make it as PG-13 as I can, but we've kept all the language, so if anyone out there has problems with rough language sometimes, they may want to avoid this show. I hate to say that, but it's one of those, we kept everything in it as far as the language goes. So yes, this is not family fare. This is definitely a PG-13 for a much more adult type of show.
Cliff, tell me about your outfit you've got on.
My outfit, my costume. I'm playing the sheriff, so we kind of went back to the 70s with almost all of the costumes in the show and geared it just after the original musical. The sheriff hat, the bomber jacket, and 5-star point star there for the badge and everything.
Jolene, tell me about the set we're sitting on. This is a pretty elaborate set for a community theater with the 2 levels here.
It is. This is Miss Mona's house, and this is the waiting area down here and all of the girls' bedrooms, and the excitement happened upstairs. So it's a fun set. It's a very beautiful set, designed by Mr. Turcotte.
It's red, white, and blue.
Yep, all American.
That was going to be my next question. When you get a script like this, does it kind of give you a guide on what you need the set to look like, or do you have that in your mind already, what you want to do with it?
Most scripts give you an idea of how it was originally on the Broadway stage, but if you look around here, we're not on the Broadway stage. We don't have the lifts, we don't have the treadmill, well, we don't have all those fancy things that they have. So you look at what they have in the script and you try to make it work with your space that you have. This show definitely needed a second story, so we went ahead and built the upstairs there. It's a little bit high for our stage because we're only 12 feet tall, but we're just barely can see the tops of the heads when they're up there, so we're good.
That's good. Yeah, it looks really good from the back of the room, so I was wondering how it all
And you
came
might
into
also
play.
want to know that underneath this whole thing, we have dressing rooms. So we're using it as twofold. We're using it as the set from the front, but underneath, Miss Jolene lives underneath there. Some other people live underneath there. Our prop lady is set up underneath there also. So it's not wasted space on the underside. We almost have a basement down there with lots of little people down there working and changing clothes and doing things like that.
Yes.
So it gave you a little more room than you're used to having here.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
We call them gnomes.
Okay.
The people that are short enough to fit in there. What can I say? He's got a sense of humor.
Yep.
I know that I've interviewed all 3 of you before, I think. So tell me about Melon Patch and why you like to be here. What's the big deal with community theater at Melon Patch?
The Melon Patch is one of the few community theaters still left in the area. None of us get paid. We're totally volunteer. I'm a school teacher. Jolene is an insurance salesperson. Cliff is an actor, a freelance actor, and among other things. And none of us get paid for any of this. This is our hobby. So we all work day jobs, and then we trudge in here every night at 7 o'clock and spend a few hours in here Monday through Friday. So it's sort of an obligation, but it becomes your social life after a while. All of these people become your friends, and you sort of get bored when you're not doing it. So community theater is interesting because it is. It's a group of people that get together and put on a show.
Now, how many plays have you done this year at the Melon Patch yourself that you've been a part of?
This is my 3rd show this season. I was in 1776, I was in She Loves Me, and then I'm directing this one.
Wow, what about you, Jolene?
This is my first show this season.
And what about you, Cliff?
I 3 this season. I played trombone in 1776 in the orchestra and did the nerd, Mr. Waldegrave, and now the sheriff for this show.
Now, is this show a musical as well? Is it just a play?
Oh no, it's definitely a musical.
For some of the people that might not be familiar with the script, tell me a little bit about the actual storyline without giving away too much.
You want to give that one?
Yes, it's about Miss Mona's boarding house, which is referred to as the Chicken Ranch, which would be your everyday common bordello, and TV evangelist not loving it so much and trying to shut it down. And when those two worlds collide, that's what happens. So,
Mayhem and mischief.
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
And a lot of cussing.
And there's a lot of cussing, and you know, as I said before, we've tried to keep it relatively clean. But if you're coming to see a show called Best Little Whorehouse in Texas,
I would think you would know what you're getting
there
yourself
are
into.
going to be some naughty parts here and there. So,
Should we tell them how many times I curse?
Did you count?
no, he's the cussing sheriff.
You're the cousin sheriff.
Celebrated
Did
cussing.
you count how many times you...
I did, but as a,
Go for
almost,
it. How many
almost,
times- how many
almost
times
as
you-
a joke. You had mentioned you should go count it, and then I did the next night, and well, I used the Lord's name in vain 31 times, unfortunately. But
he
it's-
does most of the cussing.
Yeah.
He does most of the cussing.
Well, let's take a break for a moment and take a look at a little bit of the play.
Do you mean to say, Senator, that you have no direct recollection of how you got to the chicken ranch?
Now that's God's own truth, yes, sir. But I do have my suspicions.
I suspect that you'll nominate yourself.
Well, it just goes to knowing that they'd want to harm my good name.
But how are you coaxed into a whorehouse?
Well, I'm surprised you boys haven't figured that out for yourself yet. I was doped. Yes, sir. Communists have been doping those college kids for years. I was easy prey.
Senator, there used to be a communist over in Waco, but he died in '68.
Presumably then, these communist agents stripped you and planted you in a strange bed?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your His Excellency, the Governor of Texas.
My friends, I want to thank you for that warm and sincere Christian welcome.
Gentlemen, you may ask your questions now.
Governor, sir, what do you think of the explosive situation in the Middle East?
Well, as I was just saying this morning at our weekly prayer breakfast here in this historic capital, I believe it behooves both the Jews and the Arabs to settle their differences in a Christian manner.
How do you account, Governor, for the current high rate of unemployment in our state?
There's nothing unusual about it. It's just the natural law of economics. You know the real cause for this unemployment thing? People are out of work.
Governor, Melvin P. Thorpe, Watchdog News. Governor, what are you going to do about the chicken ranch, Governor?
Fellow Texans, I am proudly standing here to humbly say, I assure you, and I mean it. Now who says I don't speak out as plain as day? And fellow Texans, I'm for progress and the flag long may it fly. I'm a poor boy come to greatness, so it follows that I cannot tell a lie.
What the hell did he say?
There's he knows and knows he knows.
Ooh, I love to dance a little sidestep. Now they see me, now they don't. And go. And ooh, I love to sweep across the wide step. Cut a little swamp
deposits their money.
Sound business practices.
Why don't you do something about industrial pollution? Well, even the Houston Ship Channel caught on fire.
But we put it out.
What do you plan to do about the chicken ranch?
Now, good friends, it behooves me to be solemn and declare I'm for goodness and for profit and for living clean and saying daily prayer. And now, my good friends, you can sleep nights. I continue to stand tall. You can trust me, for I promise I shall keep a watchful eye upon y'all.
This is all going over my head. You and Will Chamberlain.
Ooh, I love to dance a little sidestep. Now they see me, now they don't. I've come and gone. And ooh, I love to sweep across the wide step. A little small
Governor, Melvin P. Thorpe, Watchdog News.
Yeah, I heard.
Governor, why has the chicken ranch operation been continuing so long unchecked?
Beg your pardon?
Is it true that organized crime may be involved?
Ooh, there seems to be an acoustic problem up in here.
Is a true possible payoff for bribes might be involved?
Governor Melvin P. Thorpe, Watchdog News. Governor, what are you prepared to do about the chicken ranch and Miss Mona?
Now, Miss Mona, I don't know her, but I've heard the name, oh yes. But of course I've no close contact, so what she is doing, I can only guess. But oh, Miss Mona, she's a blemish on the face of that good town. I've taken certain steps here. Someone somewhere's gonna have to close her down.
Melvin Thorpe has done it once again. He's shown its light, and now we see. Melvin Thorpe has left through thick and thin and led us all to victory. Melvin Thorpe has done it once again. He's shown its light, and now we see. Melvin Thorpe has left through thick and thin and led us all. Once again, he's shown his light, and now we see. Melvin Thorpe has led through thick and thin and led us all to victory. He loves to dance the sidestep now. You see, he's come and gone new. He loves to sing the wide step, lead the people on. Oh, he loves to dance the sidestep now. You see, he's gone. Oh, he loves to sing the wide step, lead the people on. Melvin Thorpe has done it once again, shown his light, and now we see. Melvin Thorpe has led you thick and thin and led us all victory. He's done it once again and led us all to victory.
And we are back. Tell me a little bit about that scene we just saw.
That was Sidestep featuring Dustin Levine, and he tap dances like a little demon through it all. He's the sidestepping governor, and the governor never answers anything, as you saw, never answers anything straight on. He sidesteps everything. And the whole point of that song is that he sidesteps and he taps. And Dustin, in his real life, does tap very well. In fact, when he was in high school, he was a competitive tapper. So he's pulled out his tap shoes, and he's had fun with the show.
Now, when you get people to come out and audition for the show, do you kind of have in mind who you want to come out and audition, or is it just open to the public, and when they come in, you amaze yourself at what you end up with?
Being a community theater, we pull from the same people regularly. So when you're directing, you have an idea of who's probably going to show up, and you've sort of pigeonholed people in your mind where they're going to be. But then you have the auditions, and who knows who's going to show up, and who knows who's going to blow you away. So you don't really precast. You sort of let people know, out of all of the people that I know, I'm thinking about you. but you don't really do anything. You don't really cast it until after the auditions. Because once again, someone wonderful may walk in and just blow you away, and suddenly we have a new family member. So, but yeah, most of the time you see a lot of the same faces repeatedly because we are a community theater. And we pick the shows usually knowing who we have in our stable of actors that could fulfill it. I mean, we don't want to pick something that there's no way we could ever cast.
Cliff, now how did you hear about the audition and say, I want to be the cussing sheriff?
Well, after a couple of glasses of wine, no, actually it was during the Nerd that a lot of the commotion and buzz about the auditions for Whorehouse were coming up. And I honestly, and don't take offense to this, I had no desire to be in the show originally. And people are like, you should try out, you should try out for the sheriff part anyway. So I did, and I guess maybe from cursing so much as Mr. Waldgrave in The Nerd, he cast me. So it's been a challenge, and it's been a lot of fun, because we have a very big cast, and every one of them is talented, and music involved, and the dancing, and it's like being home again, really, because I've done several shows here over the years, and it's good to be back.
It is a large cast. We have 33 people in the cast.
Oh, wow.
So it's a nightmare trying to get everybody in the same room at the same time.
Now, when you start to put on a production like this, where it has been on Broadway before, and I think there was a movie.
There was a movie,
So
yes.
do you go back and watch the Broadway show or the movie with all the things we have that you can have access to watch everything on, or do you just kind of not even go there so you don't have it in your head?
Well, the Broadway show you can't really watch because they're not allowed to tape them.
Oh, okay.
So because of copyright laws, so there really are you can't sit down and watch the Broadway version. On YouTube, there are community colleges and things like that who have done versions, so you check those out sometimes. And the movies I tend not to watch, especially if you watch this movie is very, very different from the play.
Is it?
The play came first, and then Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton decided to make the movie, and they
That's what I
really
remember.
changed things around tremendously to fit Dolly Parton. A lot of the minor characters in the show, their songs got stripped away from them, so they had room to add more songs for Dolly in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So what you see in the movie is not really what you're going to see in the show, in the play.
Jolene, what about you? How do you prepare yourself when you've got a show coming up? Lots of rest.
Yeah, lots of rest. I just immerse myself in it. I'm very fortunate I can read through the script a few times and really get a sense of what my lines are. I pay attention to what's going on. The real key is to listening, because we all have our moments up here where it's like, oh my gosh, what's coming up next? We have CDs for the music, fortunately, so we have a leg up in listening to those. I listen to those constantly because I travel a lot. I am actually from Orlando, so I have a drive here.
Lots of time in the car to listen.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun.
Now, Cliff, you seem to have been in character since the moment I got here tonight.
Well, after a couple glasses of wine, no, I'm
That
just
seems
kidding.
to be his answer.
You were asking about the movie or studying for the parts. I was not familiar with the show at all.
Oh,
so
you weren't?
I came to the read-through and heard how it went and was told the movie was entirely different from the musical, so I'm waiting till after the run of the
watch it.
show to watch it.
I know, I do that with a lot of the shows that I see here at the Melon Patch. I either Google them, if I haven't seen them already, or if I have seen them, I go back and revisit them and get a kick out of watching them as compared to how everything is here. So it's a great reference.
I think as an actor, and it's good professionalism to do this, is to, as an actor, you should be interpreting your part for you and making it your own.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's different
Good
interpretations, everybody's opinion, if you will, of how they see themselves as that character. And if it needs to come back or get pulled back or changed a bit, that's what the director's there for. And John's been an excellent director. It's my first show with you.
I think
directing,
it is, yes.
actually. And I've known you for 10 years and done many shows, even together. But he's never directed me. And it's been great, really has.
Well, John, tell me what the running dates are.
We open March 22nd and we run through April 7th. Now, Easter weekend is a little odd. We're not doing Whorehouse on Easter Sunday. We sort of had a problem with that. So instead, the second weekend, we're doing a Friday evening at 8 o'clock and then a Saturday afternoon and a Saturday evening. And we're avoiding Sunday, Easter Sunday altogether. And then we have the following weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Now, if people want to get tickets, tell me how they can contact.
They can call the box office during the daytime at 787-3013. That's a 352 exchange. And Marie, our box office assistant, will go ahead and take your reservations and handle everything for you.
Very good. It was great meeting all of you again and seeing you here with all your sets, everything you've done here. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and rehearsing to meet with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for joining us here on Lakefront TV. We'll see you next time on the Arts and Entertainment Showcase.
Get out of our town! Go back to Dallas! We don't want you in Gilbert! Come on, chicken back! Shake, shake, shake. You're ruining our game. Shake, shake, shake. You're ruining our game. Shake, shake, shake. You're ruining our game. Shake, shake, shake.
Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they doing.
What kind of loud shuffle got going on out there? Looks like a vigilante group or something. Look at that freak show. Every nut in Texas must be out there.
Evil and corruption! Get out of my district!
Hey, Ginger, isn't that your friend Senator Wingwall? Where? Right over there. Oh, hi there, Senator.
What's going on out here?
Get that filthy operation out of our town! Dirty white trash pigs!
Now, where'd this all-American circus come from anyhow? Give me that thing, Jewel.
Yes, ma'am, you do it.
Pardon me.
You better go on and get before I shoot you right in the ass.
Much obliged.
That was a mean-looking bunch, Miss Mona. Yeah, that Melvin Thorpe character is trying to convince everybody in Texas that pure good and pure evil's about to wrestle to a dogfall out here.
Now, it looks to me like the confused against the mistaken, with the well-meaning coming in to screw it up on both sides.
Do you think the governor was just talking political big talk? He ain't hit a lick since he said he was closing us down. Oh, that old bastard. He won't keep one promise in 10.
Yeah, but he's about as unpredictable as a high wind, and he'd probably score in the high 90s on a crazy test. Nah, girls, I think we better keep out of sight. So you run on back to your rooms. Don't look to me like we're going to have many guests come calling. Not with that mob out there.
Even the Coca-Cola man says his wife won't let him make any more deliveries out here. We're in trouble this time, ain't we, Miss Mona?
It ain't what I'd call the ideal situation.
I sure have been disappointed in that old sheriff.
Well, he's had his moments, Jewel. You know, I remember when I first seen Ed Earl, he looked like he had just walked out of a cowboy picture show. He was tall and handsome. He had blonde hair then. I never told nobody this before, Jewel, but he took me down to Galveston. He took me down to Galveston for a night.
Is that right?
Oh, it was Kennedy's inauguration, and we watched it on television in a hotel room. That was high cotton for me, fresh out of the panhandle. I'd never seen salt water. I remember the sun was shining, and the water on the Gulf was so blue it ached my eyes. The sun must have been shining on Kennedy, too, and it must have been pretty cold up there, because Kennedy's breath made little clouds of smoke every time it hit the cold air. That's how I remember that day. We had a champagne brunch, and I ordered eggs Benedict. I thought it sounded mighty high tone. I didn't even realize the chef had messed up the hollandaise sauce. When he brought me back here, he took a gown out of a bag and he kind of poked it at me like it might bite him. And he said, "Here, cakes, this here's for you." Oh, he never was worth a damn at grammar, but I never felt more like Cinderella. Well now, that may have never been more than a bread and butter note, but I remember the sun shining in that blue, blue sky and President Kennedy's breath making little clouds of smoke. And the worst eggs Benedict I ever did put on my tongue. No, Jewel, Ed Earl's never played in the major leagues. Maybe he's not cut out for it. Not this time, not now anyway, not anymore.
I'm real sorry for the troubles you've been having, Miss Mona.
Oh, Jewel, don't feel sorry for me, no. You see, I started out poor, and I worked my way up to outcast. You just gotta learn not to expect nothing out of life. Were you fixing to say a little something about how life don't seem too fair? Don't even start. Don't even start. Were you looking to get a little disappointed? Teardrop going there, don't make me laugh. Please don't touch my heart. Who said life was a roller coaster? Who said life was sweet surprise? Who said life was a circus poster? Not me, not me. So ask me no questions, give me no answers, and I'll tell you no lies.
Were you getting yourself a little moody? 'Cause some folks are downright mean, oh me, oh my. Ain't that a shame? Were you starting to make a little speech about the troubles that you've seen? Please spare me that sad self-pity game. Who said life was a full of berries? Who said life was